Max was a bright but sometimes mischievous boy in Mrs. Carter's class. He loved playing with his friends and often found it hard to sit still during lessons. One day, while Mrs. Carter was teaching, Max became frustrated because he didn't understand a math problem. He raised his hand, but before Mrs. Carter could come over to help, Max's temper got the best of him. He stood up from his chair, clenched his fists, and walked toward Mrs. Carter. "This is stupid," he yelled, raising his hand as if he was about to hit her. Mrs. Carter didn't move. She looked at Max calmly and said, "Max, I can see you're upset, but hitting someone won't help you understand better." Max froze. His anger quickly turned into shame. He had never thought about how his actions might hurt others. Mrs. Carter knelt down to his level and softly said, "We all get frustrated sometimes, but it's important to ask for help instead of hurting people. Let's solve this problem together." Max felt his face turn red, but instead of hitting, he nodded. Mrs. Carter showed him how to solve the math problem, and Max realized it wasn't as hard as he thought. After class, Max apologized to Mrs. Carter for his behavior. She smiled and said, "It's okay to make mistakes, Max. What matters is that we learn from them." From that day on, Max learned to manage his frustration better and always remembered to ask for help when he needed it.